G'day there guys, still no regrets here, not even one letter. Welcome back to the show, this is Markee, your host of today's r/AmiTheA episode. If you enjoy the video, please do break that like button, and if you haven't subscribed or if YouTube has unsubscribed you, click that subscribe button again, it would really help. Hope you have a good one, and sit back, relax and enjoy it. Posted by user AITA-CV66, titled, Am I the a-hole for suggesting a co-worker should wear a diaper after she crapped herself multiple times? We have a co-worker, Jessica, who's kind of a jerk for many reasons, like constantly spilling coffee over important papers, trying to put a broken coffee mug in the shredder, and breaking office supplies constantly. She also starts drama. Unfortunately, this idiot is employed because her father is high up. Jessica recently crapped herself after she ate some bad burritos, and the stalls were occupied, so she crapped herself. Or, so that's the story that she tells, but I think it's bullcrap, because there's 6 stalls in the girls' bathroom, and we only have 18 women in our area, so I don't believe it. She shat herself in the middle of the office, and public safety protocol calls for us to evacuate the office and have that area chemically cleaned. That wasted most of the day. She did the same thing 2 days later. I was effing ticked I had to pull all-nighters to catch up on the work I missed because of her bullcrap, and so did many others. A few days later, apparently she shat herself on the toilet seat and walls. I didn't see it, thank God. I was with friends, and I said that Jessica should be wearing diapers because I'm sick of this crap. Someone overheard me and told Jessica, and Jessica approached me about it and said that I should apologize. I said no, F you Jessica, what grown-ass woman craps herself, and you act like a baby so dress like one too. Wear an effing diaper so others don't have to clean up your crap. I do enough of your work that you don't finish. She reported me to HR, and now I'm in possible trouble. Fudging hell. This is just hilarious all around. What's wrong with these people? How did she manage to do it on the toilet seat and the walls? Is it not malicious at that point? I'm gonna go with everyone sucks here for this one. Why is she crapping herself all over the office non-stop? I feel like she should have some more self-control than that, and it should be a one-time thing if it does happen. There's no excuse for it getting on the toilet seat and the walls. And he's a bit of a dick for telling her that she needs to wear diapers and dress like a baby because she's acting like one. It's an everyone sucks here. OP, just stop being so mean. It's not funny. It's not funny, OP. Don't be so mean. You're the a-hole. I mean, think what you want, but you're an adult. You should know better than to say crap like that at work. Agreed. You're the a-hole. There is countless other ways to handle that situation. Lowering yourself to such a degree pinpoints you as a major a-hole. Such unprofessionalism. Other ways such as, come on, tell us your secrets. Filing a complaint about the all-nighters with HR, for example, suggesting that they handle the situation, that's what HR is for, and that you won't pull much more over hours because of accidents you don't have any control over. Most likely they've already been on the case because what OP describes costs the company a lot of money. Not the a-hole, but possibly career suicide, especially if her dad is high up. We have a guy like your Jessica in my office. We had HR deal with it. You also got someone crapping themselves? Problem is, we're in Macedonia and working for a multi-billion foreign company. Jessica is the daughter of the top foreign leadership. She can't be removed. Yes, but a guy. In his case, he wears diapers now, but still has leak issues sometimes. I'm sorry for everyone eating right now, I'm really sorry. Cleaning crew refused to clean his office chair, so now he has a plastic one. In our ladies' room, we had someone crapping on the seat and wall already, and we never figured out who it was. What's wrong with people? Why do you do this? I mean, technically you're the a-hole for not calmly telling her yourself in the context of it being a biohazard, but I'd be your friend and would probably feel the same way. What adult calmly needs to be told not to crap themselves? One with disabilities, and from her behavior, it sounds like she may have disabilities and possible medical issues. If she does have possible medical issues and it's not just because she was eating bad burritos, then I feel bad and I retract my statement. But again, we don't have enough information. We just know that she's the daughter of the boss, and that's all we can go with. Posted by user Certain Exam 4505, titled, Am I the a-hole for leaving my roommate's 4-year-old home alone with a friend for hours because I don't want to normalize babysitting? So I've been living with my roommate, Rose, since the beginning of the quarantine. We didn't choose to be each other's roommates, everything was by landlord. We aren't exactly close, since we're just roommates. I tend to stay in my room and every now and then we talk, but it's mostly just hi, hello, good morning, etc. Recently, Rose had an issue and she needed to bring her daughter in, 4 years old. I'm sure what happened entirely. I just know that it's an emergency. The girl has been here for 3 months. At the beginning, we had a long talk about boundaries, agreements, etc. because of the sudden addition. I told her that under no circumstances would I be a babysitter, even if I get a stay-at-home week/day. I don't want to suddenly become the constant babysitter. Rose cannot work at home, but I sometimes am able to. She agreed and explained that she is perfectly okay with this as long as I'm okay with her inviting either babysitters or family to watch the baby. I agreed, so long as they didn't get a copy of the key. Like maybe one family member/babysitter, but not all of them. Here's where I might be the a-hole. Rose apparently couldn't find a babysitter or something because when I woke up, the baby was in my bed, sleeping, and she left a note/text explaining that her babysitter couldn't come. I was absolutely ticked. I tried texting and calling, but she didn't answer, and I had to work in person. I called up a friend for a favor, and they babysitted while I worked. I told them of any allergies, etc. When I got home, Rose was ticked that I left the baby with a stranger. She said that while my friend was nice, that I had no right to leave the baby with someone she personally didn't know, and that I never know what could happen. She says that she understands I had work, but that I'm being ridiculous to not even offer babysitting at all, especially if I'm home for a week on, a week off. Here's where I think I'm not the a-hole. I was cranky and told her to F off because I had work and could have left the baby alone, and that I told her to never rely on me for babysitting, etc. I trust my friend since he's been working in daycare. She's angry and says that I don't know how I endangered the baby, and that she will call the police the next time. I told her that I'll call the police the next time she leaves the baby alone. Edit. Because some are confused on why I think I'm an ass/posted this, the main issue from Rose's side is that I left a male babysitter who was a stranger to her, and there is this thing against babysitters being males. Maybe I'm not some cultures, whatever that means. I thought that it was more obvious from the post alone, but I'm just clarifying here. I don't get it, OP. Are you saying that you might be the ass because you agree with her that male babysitters are not okay? Because if you agree with that and you did it anyway, that would make you an ass, but that's just a stupid argument now, isn't it? It's unfortunate that she needs to go to work and she's not able to look after her baby. That's great, but that's also a Rose problem. Rose is the one with the kid, not you. You didn't choose to look after this kid and you made it very clear. Rose can't get her way just because she wants her way. Life doesn't work like that, unfortunately. You did the only thing that you could have done, and you couldn't have known that her views on male and female babysitters were like that. I hope this injected some sense into Rose's thick, dense head, not to leave her baby alone with just people that don't want to look after them. I don't know, but I'm gonna say not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Good God. Who just leaves their baby in their roommate's bed when they haven't consented to babysit? Something is very, very wrong with Rose. You made sure someone was watching the child, which was the right thing to do, even though it wasn't your responsibility. You are more than fine. I don't think anything is wrong with her. I just think she screwed up trying to depend on me. No, I can tell you as a parent that what she did is not normal. Like, I'm worried for this child's well-being in her care. This right here, I would never dump my kid in a sleeping adult's bed when that person has made it clear they don't want to look after them. It's a child, not a houseplant. Just to add a little more horror to the situation, she dumped her kid on OP's bed. What if OP is a super heavy sleeper and tosses and turns? Not the a-hole, Rose was super stupid. So that I understand this, she couldn't find a babysitter, so she left the kid with you while you were asleep and didn't even bother waking you to ask you, and got mad that you got a babysitter so you could go to work? What did she expect? You to call out of works to babysit her kid for free? Not the a-hole. She knew that if she woke OP, that OP would say no, so she didn't bother, which means she knows she's wrong, not the a-hole. Posted by user Waroska, titled, "Am I the a-hole for refusing to loan my daughter money to rebuild her life? Because she's the one who ruined it." My daughter is 29. When she was 21, she got a DUI. As a result of that, her job offer at the time, from a bank, was rescinded, and she ended up marrying her college boyfriend and becoming a stay-at-home mum of 2 kids, 4 female, 3 male. In April, she was widowed, and after rebuffing any serious interaction with me for the last 5 years, she reached out to me. She asked to borrow $2,000 for legal fees to get her DUI expunged because she claims that it's preventing her from doing delivery or nannying gigs, and that it'll also prevent her from getting higher paying jobs that she could otherwise get with her degree. When I hesitated, she got mad and said that she's still ticked that the whole reason why she was out driving that night was because my ex-wife and I had a fight about me not signing a permission slip for her younger sister, and she went out to find me because my ex-wife had a mental breakdown. I was furious she brought that up because 1, my ex-wife overreacted and expected me to sign the slip when I was doing a major business meetings all week, and 2, she only called me because she needed my help, and because her mother blows through all of her money every month, yet can't even be civil towards me. So I told her that I wasn't going to give her the money because the bottom line was that she shouldn't have broken the law, and that she obviously still hadn't taken responsibility for what happened if she's still blaming me. Am I the a-hole? I just recorded an entire thing saying how insane OP is, and that I defend the daughter here because she was just trying to help. Just by how much of an a-hole that OP is coming across, it makes it clear to me that he's the a-hole here. And I love that OP was trying to help back then, but did she have to get in the car while under the influence? That's a big question. I don't think she should have. That was a really unwise move. We don't know how much she had to drink. It could have been a little. It could have been a lot. She could have killed a family that night with her stupid decision making. And now she's putting the blame on the father, saying that he's the reason that she had to drink drive. But she doesn't give us a reason for why she was out there, just that she had to go find him. I don't understand. I'm just going to go with everyone sucks here in this situation. The daughter doesn't want to take responsibility, the dad doesn't want to take a responsibility, and he's being really angry and vindictive, and yada yada yada. This is a mess. Kinda want to say you're the a-hole? Your daughter is recently widowed with 2 kids and wants to try to rebuild her life and needs help, and you say no? I understand she's made mistakes in the past, but you sound vindictive. Maybe there's not enough info, but it seems like it to me that you are. The problem is that if OP is a reliable narrator, the daughter is not presently accepting responsibility for her actions as an adult. Daughter decided to drive drunk, but is claiming OP's actions over some permission slip made her do it, and the DUI is really his fault. But OP is also putting part of the blame on his ex's poor money management on daughter. There's obviously a lot of layers here, but widowed daughter maybe gets a pass. The stress of suddenly being a single parent during a pandemic and not having resources to support daughters. Perhaps this could help ease old family hurts, and yes, it sounds like there's been a lot of bad feelings all around. If there is any hope to have a relationship with daughter and grands, this is it. It's not fair, but a lot of being an adult isn't fair. I'm not claiming OP looks good here. He doesn't. But daughter's avoidance of responsibility is directly relevant to whether she should be able to get an expungement and be able to obtain jobs involving professional driving. Also, although it's hard to say because of limited contact with OP over the past 5 years, I think she likely developed her belief that her DUI was OP's fault prior to being widowed. That sounds like a belief unlikely to spontaneously develop 8 years after the incident. Thus, I do not think there is a clear connection between her losing her husband and the lack of acceptance of responsibility. I don't think she has likely ever really accepted her fault for what she did. I agree that the daughter doesn't seem to be taking responsibility, and she should, but it also sounds like she reluctantly went out because her mother was having a mental breakdown. Dad doesn't actually dispute that, and glosses it over with saying that Mum overreacted. He doesn't seem like this was unusual, and he doesn't seem to acknowledge that his daughter was left to deal with it. I would have to say everyone sucks here. This is going to be unpopular, but I'm going to say it. You do not owe her a goddamn thing, of course. The money is yours. You were bitter about her mum clearly, which is maybe unnecessary for this story, but whatever. Her excuse for driving drunk over a permission slip is super lame. But you're mad that your wife didn't sign a permission slip when you had meetings? How many 24-hour meetings did you have that kept you from being able to sign a piece of paper? That doesn't excuse her driving, but it doesn't explain why you're still mad at your wife about a signature. And she got in touch with you over a desperation about money, not to kiss your ass or make your relationship better. But having given up on a relationship with my own mother, I know that people do not give up relationships with their parents that easily. It takes a lot of pain to realize that a parent is not worth the effort. You don't talk about that at all. Years ago, she did wrong. She did. She's rude. She is. But you're turning your back on your newly widowed daughter and her kids. She's just trying to get a job to support them. I have raised kids and I can't imagine being as heartless as you. I'm going with you're the a-hole down there, not just because of the money, but because there's more to the story and she's a widow with 2 kids. She isn't even asking for a gift, just a loan. Maybe charge her interest if it makes you feel better. It is just so heartless. Edit, you are an a-hole. She might be too, but she comes by it honestly. You are the bigger a-hole. You're the a-hole. Posted by user, daughter and husband. Titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to allow my husband to apologize to our daughter for ruining her life? My daughter, 19, is going through a tough time. On top of the obvious difficulties of the pandemic, she's been struggling with depression. Her classes are all online, so she lives with us. My husband and I are both working from home, so we are very involved with her day to day. We do our best to engage her. Family walks, game nights, cooking together, but she's still feeling pretty down. She sees a therapist online, but I'm not privy to how that is going. In the last couple days, she's been displaying a lot of resentment over her childhood. I'm specifically talking about ages 12 to 14. During those years, her father, my husband, was diagnosed with prostate cancer and was going through aggressive chemo. He has recovered enough to live a normal life. I won't lie, those were very tough years for our family. My daughter is an only child and was used to our full attention and engagement. It was a hard transition for her to have her father not be able to care for her like he used to, and myself having to split my time between her and my husband. We had a lot of support from our family, and we were able to maintain her lifestyle with their help. She didn't have to quit any teams, she never missed school, and I do acknowledge that emotionally there was damage, so we did family therapy for years. Yesterday, she was in a bad mood. During dinner, I asked her what was going on, and she went into this explosive rant about how many issues she developed due to us. Apparently, we are responsible for her grade slipping, her relationships failing, her weight gain, etc. She tied it all back to her missing crucial development during the years where her father had cancer. At one point, she says something like, "Has it ever occurred to you that maybe you should apologize? You basically deprived me of a childhood." My husband says, "I'm sorry, honey. I could have done better, and I could have done more for you." I shut that down and told her, "No, you are not going to guilt your father into apologizing for having cancer. This is unacceptable. You need to accept that life is not fair, and there is very little that we can do about it. Go to your room and calm yourself down." She told me to go F myself and went to her room. My husband and I have been arguing about how this was handled. He thinks that an apology is not a big deal, and that he was hurt by what she said, but that he could take it. I think that she's looking for someone to blame for her current unhappiness, and that we, as her parents, are easy targets. I also know that my husband already feels a great deal of guilt for putting our family through so much turmoil. I love my daughter and want her to be happy. At the same time, I do believe she's at an age where she needs to take on personal accountability. Am I the a-hole here? The absolute level of entitlement is reaching astronomical, punching the star in the face, sky-high levels. These people, while going through prostate cancer, still did everything they could for their daughter. This chick is 19 now. It's been 5 to 7 years since that has all started and finished. Surely she can see that they were doing the best they could at the time. They even went to family therapy and everything. They literally did everything that you could do for this daughter, and she still blames him for having cancer and not apologizing? What has he got to apologize for? I'd kick her out of the house and say, go find someone else that treats you better than this. You are 19, go live with someone else that's going to treat you as good as we do. And that would be until she sees the error of her ways, sincerely apologizes and means it. You cannot convince me. You cannot convince me the parents were the a-hole here. They sound like absolute angels. They sound like what I want to aspire to be as parents. Edits. I am shocked by the amount of comments and cannot read them all. Thanks to everyone who commented, and double thanks to those that awarded the post. I do want to say that, while the concern for my daughter's mental health is encouraging, there is a rather harsh dismissal of my husband's mental health here. As a society, I think men are expected to do too much, to just suck it up and take it on the chin. That's what he said. My husband struggles still with his health, the possibility of cancer returning, and his own depression. I value my daughter's mental health, don't get me wrong, but I don't value it above my husband's. I thought that what she said was extremely damaging to him, and I reacted to that. I do regret the harshness, but not the message. Not the a-hole. Your daughter is an adult, and as you said, needs to learn that life is not fair. Your husband did not choose to get cancer or the timing of it. Depression is awful, and I'm glad your daughter is seeing a counselor, but it may be worth her visiting a doctor and seeing if there is more that can be done. Hang in there, mama, but do not feel guilt or let your husband feel guilty either. I totally agree with your great comments. It's time for the daughter to grow up. She's 19 and acting like a 14-year-old. She sounds very entitled to the point of satire. I mean, expecting an apology for not being the center of attention while her father has cancer? That's like an example from a textbook about narcissism and entitlement. That's what I was thinking. Selfish and possibly very spoiled previously? I would have an extremely difficult time letting a 19-year-old tell me to F myself, then proceed to stay in my house. She can F herself right over to a friend's couch for a week. That is insanely disrespectful behavior. She definitely seems entitled, especially if she feels her dad needs to apologize for having cancer. Half glass empty much? At least she didn't lose her dad. If someone wanted me to apologize for my cancer inconveniencing them, I'd be mad as hell. Ooh, honey, if I said that to my mama, I would have to forget about my depressed self for an hour as I searched the floor for my teeth and tried to remember what week it was, and year. Of course, I'm 50 and was raised in the South. Lord, go get me a switch was part of my life. As someone who did lose her dad to cancer when I was her age, she can absolutely go F herself. Opie, not the a-hole, doesn't even cut it. You can ask her how she'd felt if she did lose her dad, or try and make her see how horrible it is to go through chemo, since apparently she was very lucky to be protected from that, and see if that changes her opinion of what happened. I'm so mad at this entitled little brat right now, I would never even think of having my dad apologize to me, and he absolutely had other things to apologize for. I would just be so grateful to have my dad at all. Nothing good has ever come from parents kicking their kids out of a house before they have a relatively good grip on adult life. There are a lot of other ways to deal with the daughter's disrespect. The daughter is way out of line, I agree, and is being the a-hole in this situation. Maybe family therapy might help in this situation, as she clearly has unresolved feelings about her father's illness. People don't always know how to communicate what they're feeling, and it can come out all wrong when their issue is actually different to what they're expressing. OP's daughter might, for instance, have been terrified back then that her father could die, and is now terrified again with everything happening in the world. Maybe that's why she's acting up. It doesn't make her vicious, just immature, which is hardly shocking at 19. Okay, and I think that's where we're going to end today's episode, guys. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even learned something from these stories. Just want to say a quick shout out to my Patreon subscribers and my channel members. You guys should be on the screen right now. If you do see yourself, I want you to give yourself a little pat on the back for being amazing and supporting me on this channel, this little journey we're going on the YouTubes. I really appreciate it, and you guys enabled me to do all this amazing work. So if you do see yourself, I love your face and I'm happy to see you. Also guys, if you want to pitch in your own support, you don't have to, but channel links are down in the description below to support the Patreon, the channel membership, whatever you want to do. It's kind of like tipping me if you feel like I'm doing a good job on this channel. I will be opening up avenues for content on those in the future. Just right now I'm kind of bogged down and stuck in Ireland, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway guys, with that said, I do hope you have a wonderful day today. Whatever you're up to, I'd love to know down in the comments below. I do hope you have a good day, night, sleep. Whatever you're up to today, tell me, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Bye.